Yeah. Good morning. I haven't slept. I haven't slept, and I am not. I'm not. What can I say? Anyway, don't get me wrong, but I'm not celebrating. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not celebrating yet, because I think you have heard me say this before. It's one thing to win an election. It's another to rule a country and succeed in what you promise the people. I have said this on this platform, and I will repeat it. President Hakainde Hichilema has won this election, and I congratulate him. And I was one of those people that worked so hard to make sure that President Hakainde Hichilema succeeds in this election. Now, I've already moved. I have already moved. And I've moved now, I'm looking at it, President Hakainde Hichilema succeeding in his leadership. That is what I'm looking at. I have moved away from the elections. And I know some of you, you may still be holding something. Maybe I said something that you didn't like. I am asking you to forget about that. Let's move on. If there's something that I said which you didn't like, if I had wronged you, your forgiveness. I know this look like I'm asking for forgiveness, but I'm human. I'm human. I'm not perfect. So every day I commit sins. I do wrong things. Sometimes I say wrong things, bad things, which hurt others. I mean, I'm not perfect. Those are, if you didn't know, I try as much as possible every day to go for mass. Every day, I try as much as possible. Why do I do that? I do that mostly in recognition that I am a sinner who constantly sins, and especially when you in public life like this, you are more prone to make mistakes. You are more vulnerable. You are more vulnerable. So I do recognize the limitation, my own limitations, and my failures. So I'm appealing to you. If during this campaign I said something that hurt you, I'm asking for your forgiveness. Please bear with me. During the time of campaign, I mean, we raise the tempo. We raise the political tempo. Emotions are charged. We fight. During campaigns, it's like a battle. It's really a battle. It's really a battle. I had one of my friends from Malaysia, and she was telling me, she said, you were very mean to Brian, as if he's not your friend. One of my friends, because when I was in Malaysia, I mean, some people I did talk about Brian, and I say Brian is my friend. And so one of these friends of mine wrote me a text message and said, you were very mean to Brian. I agree. It was a time of campaign, and some of you have also written, when I'm saying, dear Brian, my brother, you are saying today now you are calling him your brother. My friends, this is what happens in the political campaigns. Bear with me. Whatever I said against Brian, it was all about the campaign. It was all about the campaign, making sure that, my candidate, who is President Hakainde Hichilema, wins. And now we have passed that stage. Where we are now, we have to focus on uniting the country. We need to focus on uniting the country. President Hakainde Hichilema went around the country promising things. And I know naysayers are looking forward to President Hakainde Hichilema failing. They are looking for an opportunity to come and say, you see, this is what he promised. He hasn't done it. He has failed. There are a lot of people here, naysayers and doomsayers. They are waiting for an opportunity to criticize President Hakainde Hichilema. They are waiting for an opportunity to call him names. But look, that is not how we can attain development as a country. We cannot attain development in calling each other names, in wishing failure in each other. We cannot. We cannot. So we need to unite. President Hakainde Hichilema needs all of us. President Hakainde Hichilema needs all of us for him to succeed. All those promises he made, he would not succeed if he doesn't have the cooperation of all of us as citizens. We need to give him the support. We need to give President Hakainde Hichilema the support. Now, there are people who I know who don't want to see positivity in President Hakainde Hichilema. I know these people surround Brian Mundubile. I'm desperately talking like this because I want to find a way of reaching out to Brian. I am looking for a way to reach to Brian. And I'm praying that one of you who is watching will be able to say, Tayari, this is what Tayari is saying. My communication with Brian cut a long time ago. A long time ago. The last time I spoke to Brian on the phone was almost 2 years ago. The last time that he sent me a text message was simply, I'll call you back. It was a text message which was like over a year ago. And of course, when your friend is not picking your calls, when your friend is not responding to your text messages, you give him space. And that's what I have done to Brian. I've given him space. And I do understand his situation, especially that, I was supporting President Hakainde Hichilema. And I do understand. I do understand, especially the issue about really where the drift is on the position that I took in relation to the Lungu's death, President Edgar Lungu's death. So I did understand him and I gave him space. Just like many other friends, I did distance myself. I said, okay, fine, let them be. But at this point in time, I wish I could speak to Brian. I wish I could pick up a call and I could speak to him. I wish I could drive to his house like I used to do. I really wish I could drive to his house and sit with him. And this, I'm not doing it for anything other than the love that I have for Brian. I'm not doing this for anything other than the love that I have for Brian, the love that I have for others that are around Brian Mundubile. There are a number of people that are around Brian Mundubile. There are a number of them who are mutual friends. They are friends of Brian and they are also my friends. And right now, there is this issue. Some people have been arrested. Some people have not been accounted for. This situation needs to be resolved. This situation needs to be resolved. I will not pretend. I am thinking about some of these people, some of whom are close friends of mine. Some of them are very close friends of mine. They are close friends of mine. Some of them are close friends of mine. And I am looking out for everyone. And I'm praying that Brian can step up and do the right thing. Do the right thing. At the moment, I know there are people that are surrounding Brian and they're telling him all sorts of things. I saw, for example, a statement that is coming from Celestino. From Celestino. I mean, guys, we need to move. We need to move. You cannot fight the state. You cannot be confrontational and expect something positive. You cannot. You cannot. You cannot keep on demonizing President Hakainde Hichilema. There are people who are busy now. I'm sure they're talking to President to Brian Mundubile. They are telling him, this man is very bad. This man is very bad. This man is very bad. I have heard it. Some of them, they keep talking to me, even up to today. Even up to today, there are people who still call me and tell me how bad President Hakainde Hichilema is. And I listen to them, I wonder. I'm like, how can this person be saying these things when I'm living in the grace of President Hakainde Hichilema right now? I'm living in the grace. I'm experiencing the magnanimity of President Hakainde Hichilema. And yet somebody is still calling me. Some of them, they tell me when they meet me, don't trust the Hakainde Hichilema. Don't trust Hakainde Hichilema. Somebody told me a leopard is a leopard. Meaning Hakainde Hichilema is a leopard. Don't trust it. But my friends, I once believed you. I once believed what you are saying. I don't blame you. There has been this malignant slander against President Hakainde Hichilema. This slander, this malice that has been thrown on President Hakainde Hichilema has really stuck with him for a long time. And some people still believe that this man is very bad. But like many of you have got an opinion about me. But I have met a number of people who, after meeting me, they say, no, you're different from the way I know you from social media. That is the same thing that I'm telling you today. President Hakainde Hichilema is not a bad man. President Hakainde Hichilema is not a bad man. And I'm reaching out to Brian Mundubile and all those who are close to Brian Mundubile. Please, please, let us drop this. Hakainde Hichilema is not bad. I've got no reason at this point in time to come and say this. I've got no reason. I've got no reason. My cases are done. When I was out in Malaysia, you were saying you are fighting so that you come back. Now I'm here. And I don't need President Hakainde Hichilema to survive. I'm in my country already. I'm in my country already. My cases are gone. I've been surviving for a long time. I am more gifted than some of you think. Very gifted. I've done businesses. I've employed people. I can survive away from politics. I can survive away from President Hakainde Hichilema. But I'm saying this so that at least I'm hoping I can change somebody's heart out there to say, please, this man is not bad. He's not bad. You know how many times I have had bitter exchange with President Hakainde Hichilema. You know stop how many bad things I've said about President Hakainde Hichilema. Even before he was president, President Hakainde Hichilema, forgive me, some of you even started saying, Hakainde Hichilema alamutumpika tayari. Because alachitanga amulufyanya amwelela. You became tired. You are the one who became tired. You are saying, Hakainde Hichilema alamwelela sana tayari. Alamwelela sana tayari. Now, he shouldn't. You used to say that before he was even president. In recent times, I was outside. I am back. Though it was not the doing of President Hakainde Hichilema, it was other people, but President Hakainde Hichilema would have interfered. The point I'm trying to make is that those who are surrounding Brian Mundubile, particularly if I could even talk to the family, I wish I could, but I can't now. I can't. I don't know how they will take. This is why I'm just saying it here. Please don't believe that Hakainde Hichilema is a bad man. Don't believe that. Don't believe that. I talked to the family of all those, including the family of Mtoto Kafwai. I've been avoiding to mention that name. But please, don't think that President Hakainde Hichilema is a bad man. That is a bad premise. Whatever happened, I can assure you it was news to President Hakainde Hichilema as well. I can assure you it was news to President Hakainde Hichilema because things were happening. Information was coming, going to the state securities, and the state securities don't phone. When they hear there is a meeting somewhere there, they don't phone President Hakainde Hichilema. Sir, we have heard that people are planning to do whatever. Can we go there? They don't do that. He's a commander-in-chief, but President Hakainde Hichilema does not receive phone calls to tell people to say, go there. It doesn't happen like that. Even him, some of these things, he come to hear them as news. But when things happened, like where we are now, at this point where we are, we now need to see, what do we do? We need to see what is it that we can do with whatever is going on. I'm having phone calls. People are telling me this, people are complaining, this one, whatever. We need to engage. And I, for one, I will not pretend. I will listen to you. And where I can help, I will help. I will not close my eyes. No, we can differ politically, but you are my brothers, you are my sisters. I will not close my eyes to look into you or to look into your issue. I will look into your issue. And I believe that is the attitude that Hakainde Hichilema has. Hakainde Hichilema is willing to look into any issue if he's approached. Hakainde Hichilema is willing to look into any issue if he's approached. I know of many people that have gone to Hakainde Hichilema and Hakainde Hichilema has forgiven them. I've even reached a point where sometimes I feel that Hakainde Hichilema is weak. And it's not the first time I've said this. It's not the first time. Hakainde Hichilema, out of his goodness, he has actually frustrated some of his party members, including myself. There are times when I've felt like this man is being too weak. It is not a fabrication. I wish I could outline some of these cases. I wish I could mention some of these people that have approached Hakainde Hichilema. Some of these people, they have been left to walk, they have been forgiven, they have been assisted, and the very moment they walk out, they turn around and they start insulting Hakainde Hichilema. And you don't see Hakainde Hichilema to say, oh, this is what he has done. After we have helped him, he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. So please, let us not start on a wrong footing. Let us not start on the wrong footing. If we are looking for a solution to whatever problem, we need to start on the right footing. If we are looking for solutions, we need to start on the right footing. Some of these people, you cancel a call, but they keep calling. We need to start on the right footing. And the right footing is, please listen to me. The man that you have heard being demonized so many times that in your mind it has become fixed that he's a devil, he's a bad man. He's not. And this is coming from somebody that has interacted with the persona of this person, of this man. I've interacted with the persona of this man, and I can confirm to you, he's a good man. Let's start from there. Brian Mundubile, please don't listen to the people that are around. I know Brian is really shocked by these people. He's really shocked by these voices. He's a bad man. He's a bad man. He's a bad man. Brian, the family, please. Hakainde Hichilema is not a bad man. Hakainde Hichilema is not a bad man. Give him the benefit of doubt. Give him the benefit of doubt and take the right steps going forward. Take the right steps. I know others are pumping you. They are saying, let's do this, let's fight. This is not the time for fighting, Brian. This is not a time for fighting, and you will not win. You will not win. You will win nothing. You will lose more instead. You will lose more instead. Fighting at this point in time will make you, Brian, lose even what you have gained. In this election, Brian, you have gained so much. You have gained respect. People now know about Brian. People respect you. You have made even people that thought you are just an underdog, you are a nobody, they have turned around to say, hey, they are looking at you. The international community is looking at you. But more importantly, above everything, Brian, you are now the leader of the opposition. You are number 2, Brian. You are number 2. You are number 2. You are significant politically. You are significant politically. That position is a position that I'm encouraging you to look at. Fighting, being acrimonious is not the best. Focus on being the leading opposition leader. Focus on that. You've got significant numbers. With a proportional representation, you need to start thinking of who are you going to appoint to go to parliament to represent you. With the proportional representation, with those votes you have got powers, just like President Hakainde Hichilema. You have got powers to nominate people to go to parliament. You have got a number of MPs who have won on your party. They need leadership. You need to start and caucus with them. This is the position that you need to take. Not fighting. Worst of all, I'm not saying I'm stopping him to go to court or to petition. I'm not saying that. If he wants, Brian can petition. But it will be ill-advised for Brian to petition this election. This election was free and fair. This election allowed all the political opponents, all the candidates to go out there and campaign. We didn't even see President Hakainde Hichilema interfering with the opposition. People went about. We had a few incidences, but how many are those? We can count them with one hand. With just one hand, we can count 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. There are not so many incidences. Then came the voting. It was smooth. Came the counting. It was smooth. The releasing of results, everything was smooth. Surely, I'm sure even the international observers have not heard their reports, but I can bet you that the reports that will be coming from the observers will be good. Somebody saying we are panicking. No, I'm not panicking. There is no panicking. There is no panicking. This election went smooth. This election was free and fair. So going to court, you'll be wasting your time. You'll be wasting your time. And you'll be taking away again. Focusing on fighting, if you would focus on how to brand yourself now as the main opposition leader. How to brand yourself as the main opposition leader, such that you can be able to stand next to President Hakainde Hichilema and they should see a president in you. Because that's what it is now. That's what it is. In the minds of the people, you should create that image such that when they think of Hakainde Hichilema, they look at you as the next. That is the kind of image that you need to create. And if you don't create that image, somebody else will come up and take your position. So you'd rather brand yourself. Brand yourself. Be that credible main opposition leader. Don't listen to these people who want to use you to fight Hakainde Hichilema. Some people, they still want to fight President Hakainde Hichilema. And some of these people, they are actually church leaders. I know. Some of these are church leaders. And please excuse me, I mean, I like Ari Banda. I'm a Catholic, but the last person I would want to hear any advice from in relation to this is Ari Banda. Ari Banda, Archbishop of Lusaka, I am sorry to say this, I'm a Catholic, but Ari Banda has not helped this country. And at this point in time, I'm praying, and I've singled him out. I'm singling Ari Banda. Why? You know why I'm singling Ari Banda? Pama negotiations yabalungu. Information has come to light that actually, when they were negotiating, the family started referring to say, talk to Ari Banda. Talk to Ari Banda. And Ari Banda was never available. Ari Banda was never available. It reached a point when they were looking for people to shani, to negotiate. I heard this, and I heard this from a very senior former, I don't want to disclose too much, but a very senior person from one of the neighboring countries. from one of the neighboring countries. Recently, he told me that we failed. It's after I made that video when I spoke about Warik Banda. So this person called me and he said, you know, you are actually right on that clergyman. He called him. He said that clergyman, when we were negotiating, the family were referring us to him, and yet he was not available. At the time we called him, I don't know if he was, I don't know if he was in there, he was in Jerusalem. Next time we called him, he said he was in Italy, whatever. So it was difficult. And you know how Warik Banda has been expressively against President Hakainde Hichilema. He has been militant against President Hakainde Hichilema. And even in this election, he was hoping that President Hakainde Hichilema would lose. So I know such people, if they were to give counsel, I don't think they would give good counsel to Brian Mundubile. And then you have Makebi Zulu next to Brian Mundubile. Makebi Zulu, I mean, is such, you know, a passionate hater. Such a passionate hater. Those people, the Lungu family, they have got big issues against Hakainde Hichilema. Bali mupata fe bali mupata. And so, these are the people that I know are surrounding Brian Mundubile. Makebi Zulu, Archbishop Warik Banda, na bambi. These people will not help us. These people will not help us. These people will not help us. And I'm sorry to my fellow Catholics, and I know people whatever. No, but if the problem is not with me. The problem is Warik Banda. Warik Banda needs to change the way he looks at President Hakainde Hichilema, the way he looks at national issues. You cannot be taking a side as an archbishop, as a clergyman. You take a side, a strong position. And you want us to keep quiet because I'm a Catholic? No. I'm a Catholic with my sacraments. But when it comes to politics, I handle politics as a politician. I handle politics as a politician. With my sacraments, yeah, I go by what the church teaches. But when it comes to politics, whoever plays politics, I will come out in the manner that I see it fit. So in this instance, I am praying that Brian Mundubile is not getting wrong advice from these haters of Hakainde Hichilema to influence him to continue fighting President Hakainde Hichilema. It will not help you. You will lose more than what you have gained. At this point in time, if you, Brian, makes a very good step, it will benefit you. It will benefit our country. Remember, Brian, there are people abali muchifungo right now. There are people abali muchifungo. There are people that have not been accounted for. They are waiting for you, Brian. They are waiting for you. They are waiting for you. Going to seek for asylum is not a solution. It's not a solution. Going to seek asylum is not a solution. Don't go looking for asylum. I sought for asylum. I'm back in the country. I'm back in the country. Don't look at looking for asylum. And how can you? How can you seek for asylum, leaving so many people that voted for you? How can you, Brian, seek for asylum, leaving so many people that voted for you? How can you, Brian, seek for asylum? How can you, Brian, seek for refuge wherever you are, or wherever you may think, when you have got people abali mufifungo, Brian, think of it. How can you go out there and seek refuge wherever? If it is true, I don't know. If it is true, I don't know. But how can a leader whose members risked so much, go and seek refuge whilst these people bali mfifungo, whilst others are unaccounted for? Brian, believe me, I am saying this from a genuine heart, for the love that I have for you, for the love that I have for this country, for the respect that I have for the people that have voted for you, and for the compassion that I have for the people abali mfifungo, for the people that have not been accounted for. I can't do much. Nobody at this point in time can do much. It's you, Brian. It's you. These people were fighting for you. Come out. Come out and stand with these people. But remember, coming out wielding fists is not the best way to enter into dialogue. It's not the best way to enter into dialogue. Come out mature. You have not made a statement, and it is that statement that I am desperate for, and I'm praying that that statement come out good. That's why you see me talking early in the morning. I am desperate. I am really desperate. I've not slept because I'm praying that that statement will come out right. Because if that statement come out wrong, it messes up a lot of things. It messes up for those people that are abali mufifungo. It messes up for those people that have not been accounted for. It messes up for those people who have even fled the country. It messes up for them. And most of all, for you, Brian. Most of all, for you, Brian. For you. It messes up for you. The statement that you are going to issue and bring out means a lot for yourself, for the people that are inside, for the people that are unaccounted for the people that have fled the country, and for the country as well. Hakainde Hichilema has won this election. Hakainde Hichilema is president. He has won this election. That's it. That's it. Hakainde Hichilema has won this election. That's it. But he needs our support. He needs our support. How are we going to support him? We are not going to support Hakainde Hichilema by calling him names, by demonizing him. That is not the way we are going to support him. We need to give him the right support. Brian Mundubile, please, I will not talk now. I will sit and wait for that statement. And I'm praying. Those of you prayer warriors, start praying for Brian Mundubile. Start praying for Brian Mundubile. Brian Mundubile is a good man. I can assure you, he's a good man. The problem is, Brian is soft. Brian, he gets influenced. And it's not the first time I've said this. I've said it publicly. I've said it privately. Brian gets easily influenced. But I want Brian, I'm praying that Brian will listen to his heart. Brian is not a confrontational man. No, he's not. The problem is, these are the biggest problem. These are the biggest problem that we have. He just talk of the Lungus, Makebi, those people, those are the big problem that we have. We have a big problem. And I'm praying that Brian will divorce himself from these people and do the right thing. Do the right thing. I'm going to shut up now, and I will wait for that statement. In the meantime, prayer warriors, please, let's start praying. Somebody was saying, but why are you not addressing Hakainde Hichilema? I know the thinking of Hakainde Hichilema. I know the thinking of Hakainde Hichilema. I can assure you, I know the thinking of Hakainde Hichilema right now. Hakainde Hichilema right now, he would be very happy to embrace Brian Mundubile. He would be very happy to embrace Brian Mundubile. No doubt. I can bet you, if only Brian, extends his hand, Hakainde Hichilema is willing to take that hand. I can assure you, Hakainde Hichilema is willing to take that hand. If only, even all these things which happened, people have been saying Hakainde Hichilema was seeing those things as news. He was seeing those things as news. And the best person to engage is Brian. The best person to engage is Brian. If Brian can engage, even the international communities, I want to say this because I know the international communities are still around and they're still picking what we are talking on social media. I can assure you, never should you be cheated that President Hakainde Hichilema is impervious. No. President Hakainde Hichilema is not impervious. Is not intractable. No, he's not. President Hakainde Hichilema is very engaging. Is very engaging. If people go to him and engage him, the man is able to engage. And there are many instances, particularly I can talk about the death of Edgar Lungu himself. That was his arch rival. Edgar Lungu did a lot of bad things to Hakainde Hichilema. He did a lot of bad things. But when Hakainde Hichilema won elections in 2021, he said the issue of going after former presidents ends here. He said that it ends here. I'm not going to look back. I'm not going to touch you. Go and enjoy your retirement. And immediately, all the benefits were given to Edgar Chagwa Lungu. He was even paid the full package. You can check. You can check through cabinet office. He was paid money. He was paid his benefits. And of course, what remained now are those recurrent expenses for the president. Recurrent expenses. The benefits he was paid. But there are those recurrent where you need to pay for the security, you need to pay for whatever. And these are things which were cut only when he came back into politics. And it was not Hakainde Hichilema who did that. It was the law. It was the law. But the point I want to make is that Hakainde Hichilema swore never to touch Edgar Chagwa Lungu. And he never touched him. He never touched him. Hakainde Hichilema never at any point denied Edgar Chagwa Lungu from going to attend medical treatment. Never. People have been repeating that lie that he did. He never. The time that Edgar Lungu was stopped from boarding a plane, it was because he had not declared as a former head of state. And he just appears per airport. And the security personnel, they say, but sir, by a former head of state, we need to consult. Those are the instances. And then to cover up, they would come out and say, no, he was going for medical treatment. But they had not informed a cabinet. When they didn't inform cabinet, when they appeared at the airport, they were stopped. And when they were stopped to cover up themselves, they said he was going for medical treatment. And yet they had not told cabinet. The three times when Edgar Lungu sought to go for medical treatment, he was allowed. The first time he was going to South Africa, he was allowed. The next time he was going to Korea, he was allowed. The third time, it is when he went to South Africa and he died there. Hakainde Hichilema never stopped that man from going out. Hakainde Hichilema never allowed that man to be questioned. Even on substantive prima facie cases, like kesi ya Malanji, kesi ya Chopa, inflating of figures of that plane. What do you call that plane? Prima facie cases. They were prima facie cases. Faith on the issue. Prima facie cases. You never saw police going there to pick Edgar Lungu. You never saw a call out sent to Edgar Lungu, come. When his children were pointing at so many cars, so many properties, and saying they came from the father, you never saw Edgar Lungu being called to say, come and explain this. Never. Because Edgar, Hakainde Hichilema gave him that word. So how can you today say, this Hakainde Hichilema is a bad man? How can you say this Hakainde Hichilema is a bad man? How? Because there are people that keep repeating this. Even in the issue of Harik Banda. But issue of Harik Banda, so many people received those vehicles, dubious vehicles. You didn't see them being summoned because they humbled themselves. Harik Banda took a different approach. A clergyman as he is, he took a confrontational approach. So, I think we need to be fair. We need to judge people for what they are, not just what we hear. No. So, Brian Mundubile, wherever he may be seeking refuge, please. It is not that Hakainde Hichilema cannot engage. It is not that Hakainde Hichilema is an unreasonable man. No. He's not an unreasonable man. I am one of those people. I was out there. I am back in the country. I am a nobody. I cannot compare myself to Brian Mundubile. Brian Mundubile has got bigger political weight, a heavier political weight. He has got a better opportunity to engage on these things. If I can engage, how can Brian fail to engage? Please, Brian, come out. Come out and engage people. This is not to come out at Wakuikate. No. It's to come out. Let's start with a statement. Issue a statement that will pacify the nation. Move forward. Start engaging with people. Start engaging with people. If you don't know who to engage, if you don't have, but I'm sure you know. Even me, you can call me. If it means whatever, you can call me. I will go and camp at Hakainde Hichilema's gate. If you send me Brian to say, go and say this, I will go and camp at Hakainde Hichilema's gate to say, Mr. President, I've got a message from Brian. And I'm sure you'll be able to engage. But there are so many people. There are people who are worthy, than myself. But please, let us change the way we do politics. This politics of demonizing a person, this politics of sabotaging the government, this politics of acrimony, I think we can change it. And Brian, as the leader of the opposition, the main opponent. You have got that opportunity. I'll sit back. Thank you.